Morning. If everybody is ready, we'll get started. I think we've got everybody here that's going to be here. Good morning. I'm Scott Groyle, Chief of Police with the City of Oshkosh, and with me to my right is Battalion Chief Jim Ostedt of the Oshkosh Fire Department, and to my left, Sheriff John Motz of the Winnebago County Sheriff's Department. A copy of my statement is being provided to each of you. At this time, the Oshkosh Police Department is officially confirming that the body recovered from the Fox River is positively identified as Michael Philbin, the same person reported as missing this past Sunday evening. We do not suspect foul play in this tragic incident. We delayed public confirmation of this identification because there was no threat to public safety, but primarily out of the respect for the privacy of and according to the wishes of the Philbin family. At 2:36 a.m. on Sunday, January 8, 2012, a person reported hearing a male calling for help and seeing a person in the Fox River near a section of thin ice about 30 yards from shore near the Axel Tech property. Information was then received that the person must be underwater as he's no longer seen. Officers and personnel from the Oshkosh Police Department, Oshkosh Fire Department, and Winnebago County Sheriff's Office responded, but were unable to locate anyone in the water. Oshkosh Fire Department and Winnebago Sheriff Office dive team searched the water in a rescue effort, but no one was located. The Winnebago County Sheriff's Office dive team continued with a recovery effort throughout the day on Sunday. On Sunday, January 8, 2012, at 8:13 p.m., Oshkosh Police initiated an investigation of a missing person identified as Michael Philbin after friends that had been out with him the night before reported that he had not returned to the residence that he was staying at in the city of Oshkosh. Oshkosh Police continued to gather information concerning the last known locations that Michael Philbin was seen and persons that he was with, and we are asking anyone that has additional information to contact the Oshkosh Police Department at 920-236-5723. We can confirm that a non-distress cell phone communication was sent from Michael Philbin's phone near the area of the Fox River at 2:10 a.m. on Sunday, January 8, 2012. At this point, we are considering this an ongoing investigation as we continue to put together a timeline of events leading up to his disappearance. We are still determining whether alcohol was a factor in this tragic incident. The cause of death has yet to be determined, and an autopsy is being conducted today in Madison. In the Winnebago County coroner is going to be present in attendance at that autopsy. Toxicology and autopsy results will not be available for at least 4 weeks. The Oshkosh Police Department, the Oshkosh Fire Department, Winnebago County Sheriff's Office, and Winnebago County Coroner's Office joins with the Green Bay Packer organization in expressing our deepest sympathies and condolences to the Philbin family. The Philbin family expresses their appreciation for the swift recovery of their son Michael by the Winnebago County Sheriff's Office dive team, as it helps bring some closure to the family and allows them to grieve in their loss. At this time, we can take a couple of questions that we hope is limited to the search and recovery effort and not related to our police ongoing investigation.
Can you just elaborate a little bit on his activities Saturday night, and if he was out with friends, and then at 2 a.m. or 2:10, was this a phone call? Was this a text message? And what was the nature of that cell phone communication?
I'm not going to get into the nature of the phone call. It was a phone call received by friends, a non-distress type phone call, and that's all I'm going to say about that conversation.
Can you tell us where you located his vehicle?
The vehicle remained at the friend's house where he parked it, the night before. I'm not going to give the location of that.
Did someone get separated from friends? I mean, why was he was out with friends and then?
They were out with friends, they had met mutual friends, and, you know, at some point during the night, they did get separated. Yes.
Was there someone else out there with him? I mean, how did they end up on the ice?
We're still piecing together that information.
How do you-
Do we have any questions in regards to the search and recovery of Michael that can be directed towards the sheriff or the fire department?
Yeah, at this time, we're not prepared to release a lot of details of our ongoing investigation.
Can you just say why do we think this wasn't foul play? I mean, do you even know if there was any other witnesses or anybody else around?
An autopsy is being performed that will determine the cause of death, but based on information we've been able to piece together, we don't believe, we know that foul play is
And
not
then if
involved.
you can't say what that information is?
Not at this point.
Can you tell us when the family was notified? It looks like he went missing and it took several hours for the friends to come forward because obviously they were waiting for him to come back. Did they alert family or was it, I mean, did you guys notify family? Did the friends notify family that he may be missing? Can you tell us that?
I can say that I believe the friends had called the family and notified them about the same time or simultaneous to the police notification that there's some concern.
So he got separated from his friends. Was there talk of him going back home to Ripon, or do we know where he was going?
Don't have any information released regarding to that. Any questions related to search and recovery? We really want to focus on questions related to that at this point. As this investigation unfolds and we can release information, obviously we'll get that information
How
out.
did you find it? What was the sign that you kind of got a basic idea of where he was? If he fell through the ice, and he fell in all the way, you would have known, so how did you track it, or did the body just come up?
Start with the initial. As Chief Correll mentioned, initially we were dispatched at 2:37 to this incident, and we arrived 4 minutes shortly thereafter. When we arrived on scene, we had a very credible witness that described what they had saw prior. We started immediately with surface rescue operations, trying to probe and find the individual under the water. At that point in time, then our dive team was mobilized shortly thereafter and entered the water and performed a search. Shortly after our divers entered the water, Sheriff's Department dive team also arrived, and we worked in conjunction with each other and performing a rescue event until it was deemed that would become a recovery, and the Sheriff's Department
So the
took over.
person that heard him, did he have any idea, or did he go look for him, or?
There was a witness that did see him in the water and saw where he was at, but prior to the arrival of any Oshkosh Police or Oshkosh Fire or Sheriff's deputies' arrival.
Because that's kind of murky back there, so if they heard him, and then if he went down, and you never figured out where this guy was.
Correct. And I would direct that question to the Sheriff Motz. He can describe a little bit more on the recovery efforts.
We continued dive operations once Oshkosh Fire determined it was no longer a rescue and we were in a recovery mode. That continued for approximately 12 hours on Sunday using a grid pattern search of the area that we believed he was at. We also used special canine units from Independent Search and Rescue and Canine Emergency Response to assist with our search efforts and recovery efforts. We also used side sonar equipment to determine what the bottom of the river looked like. We were dealing with some water clarity issues. You could see approximately 1 foot in front of you. Wind, current, and debris at the bottom of the river played a major factor in finding and not finding Mr. Philbin.
Say if you walked out on the ice, how far out from the shoreline was you go?
Approximately 30 yards.
How do you
So
think
where
about
was
the
the open water?
conditions of the ice that night? I mean, yesterday that was wide open and there was maybe a foot or two of ice along the shoreline, but what was it Sunday morning at 2:36 a.m.? What were the conditions?
Well, the ice went a little bit further than what you saw or currently see now because we broke it up. Once that we had determined the locations of possibly where he went down, then we had to break that ice up, mark those spots with buoys, and continue to dive in those areas in a grid search pattern.
How thick was the ice?
I don't know how thick the ice was. I mean, you can I would advise that no one go anywhere near it, but our divers were walking in the first, the shore ice about 5 to 6 feet out, but anything beyond that is in terrible condition.
Well, that morning, the Sunday morning, was it iced over the whole way across the river there, or was it, like a broken mirror almost with holes?
Yeah, I do not believe that the ice went all the way across the river, and it would not have been safe for anybody to be on the ice.
Can you describe more, did the witness call 911? Is that who made the call?
Yes.
Can you describe what that person heard to make that call?
Person heard someone yelling for help in distress and saw what appeared to be a head sticking up out of the water. And then, as officers were arriving, we received information that perhaps a person went under. Any other questions specific to the search
How far
and
down
recovery?
in the river and how deep was the body found?
I don't have the exact depth that the Mr. Philbin was located, but it does vary in depth from 8 feet to 20 feet, and it varies very quickly, so I don't have the exact depth,
But he was found 30 yards from the shore.
approximately.
And can you say how far where he left his friends to where this incident happened? How far are we talking?
Without specifically indicating where we last knew, it's several blocks.
Was he separated from his friends shortly before 2:36, or it had been a couple of hours?
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about those specifics. At some point during the night, they were separated.
Are his friends all being cooperative?
Yes.
In this investigation?
Yes.
Where do you guys sort of go from here then? I guess
Well, we
what-
continue to gather information from people that were with him last, and again, we're asking for, if anybody has information or was with him that night, we would appreciate talking with them, and the number has been provided to you.
How unusual is an incident like this? I mean, is Oshkosh in session?
No, there's an interim class going on. Fortunately, it does not happen that often. All right, thank you very much. Appreciate it.